in the Seagram's block of Oshawa, Ontario. I'm an idol.
Don't be scared, homie. Come on. Okay, first of all, the world is smiling at you. The wrestling business is smiling at you. And don't you frown back on it.
Surprise, surprise, motherfucker. The king is back.
The man the hour, the man with the power. Too sweet to be sour.
Dillon Danis.
All right, I'm talking to Georgi Karakhanyan, martial artist, kicking it in the featherweight division of Bellator. Has a big fight coming up. How's it going, Georgi?
Good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. I was just wondering about this fight here with Daniel Pineda. I mean, a guy who's been in UFC, Legacy FC, Elite XC, and now Bellator. A big fight going on August 25th there. So what are your thoughts on Daniel as an opponent?
Well, I think it's a good opponent. You know, I never had an easy opponent in Bellator, so it's another tough opponent I'm looking to fight against, and I couldn't be happier. You know, waited too long, and now I have a big opponent, and that's what makes me happy.
Yeah, and it's going to be an interesting fight. I mean, you're a guy who has like 20 stoppages and you're 26 wins, so nearly an 80% finishing rate there. So guaranteed fireworks for this one, you got to think, right?
Yeah, you know, I've been saying I want to have a good performance, man. Wasn't happy with my last performance, my last fight, so I want to go out there and you know, go for the finish, make a bloody fight, and you know, just make it a exciting fight for everyone out there in New York.
Yeah, for sure. And you were coming off a majority decision loss to Emmanuel Sanchez. I saw some people thought that was somewhat of a contentious decision. I think a lot of people saw that more as a draw. And it seemed like initially you were upset at the judge's decision, but now that you have some time to, you know, kind of ruminate on what happened there, what were your thoughts on the performance? Because you said you weren't happy with your performance there.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't happy. That's the first thing. I wasn't happy with my performance, but you know, it's my fault. I shouldn't have days like that. It was one of those days I was flat, but it's all on me. And I honestly thought it was a draw because the third round, even though I knew I was like, fuck, I'm flat. I got to do something. But hats off to Sanchez. You know, I think he was on his good day. And at the end of the day, even if it was a draw, I would still be unhappy, and I'm glad I have that on my record, a loss. And the thing with me is I give zero fucks about the loss. I just keep fighting. So to actually beat me, you have to finish me. You know, to actually make me feel like I lost, you have to finish me. And that didn't happen. But, you know, now I'm focused on this fight, and I'm getting ready, training hard, and the main thing is just for me to go out there and perform.
Yeah, absolutely. And your upcoming opponent is very talented and is a pretty seasoned competitor. But, I mean, you're a seasoned competitor as well, former World Series of Fighting featherweight champion. So if you get a really impressive victory here, where do you see yourself in the hierarchy of the Bellator featherweight division?
I feel like I'm still on top. You know, I got to go out there, like I said, and perform and get a good performance, put a good show for the matchmaker and, of course, Scott Coker. And just go from there. You know, I want to fight the best guys. You know, I never had easy opponents, and whoever they give me, you know, there's a few chumps there. You know, that James Gallagher kid, which is a baby to me, and I know they won't give him to me, and he's just getting fed with fucking bums. So whoever they give me next, I'm willing to fight at 55 or 45, and just trying to stay busy. Hopefully I get another fight by the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned James Gallagher there. You don't seem like you're a fan of Dillon Danis either. Are you kind of not so much a fan of MMA nowadays in terms of like how they book certain things? Because you didn't seem happy also with how they positioned you on this upcoming card with you being on the prelims and all.
Yeah, I mean, the prelims, it's on Bellator's mistake. They're making a big mistake to put us on the prelims. I mean, not just me. There's a few other fighters that should be on a main card. But, you know, like I've been saying, as long as my pay doesn't change, I don't give a fuck if they put me on the prelims or they put me to fight in the bathroom. But as far as those two clowns, you know, I mean, it's funny how, you know, this Dillon Danis kid has zero experience in MMA. All he does is grapples with fucking Connor, and he thinks like he MMA, but wait till he gets punched in the face. So, I'm not a big fan of those two guys. And, if I get opportunity to see them, I'll tell them a few things. There's a lot of fighters that let this motherfucker slide by, but me, I'm not going to let this, To me, I feel like they're both just sucking Conor's dick and just getting all the blueprints from him how to be, but it just, there's only one Conor. There can't be too many Conors in this world, so, that's my outlook on that.
Yeah, everyone's pretty derivative right now in terms of trying to take certain Conorisms and make it work for them, and yeah, I get what you mean. It can be pretty cringeworthy, but I noticed that the card is in New York there, so I was wondering if you were excited. I mean, you seemed hyped when Bellator was having their big MSG card. Are you stoked about fighting in New York, or are you kind of worried because of some of the, questionable happenings with the New York State Athletic Commission?
I'm actually happy to go to New York. I don't know, what do you mean about the question, just the way they do everything out there?
Yeah, just certain things like the Woodley-Thompson decision, that seemed kind of it was a messy situation, and then the Chris Weidman, Gegard-Mousasi decision towards the end where people weren't exactly sure.
Well, the first thing is I can't let it fucking to the judges because, first of all, the judges in California fucking suck. My last fight was in California, and they fucking fucked me over. But, you can never leave it to judges because some of these judges have zero experience in fighting, and they just come and judge the fights. But as far as traveling to New York, I'm very happy. I like to travel just away from everything and, just go see what's cracking out there and just fight and then come back home.
Yeah, and you're probably used to all the travel with you being a professional soccer player back in the day, eh? You're probably used to all the moving around and stuff like that.
Yeah, since I was a little kid, I would travel a lot, so it's normal to me to travel, and in my early MMA career, I travel a lot too, so it's a normal thing for me.
Yeah, absolutely, and just talking about the journey and everything like that, but changing gears a little bit to talking about your Bellator journey. I mean, you've been with the promotion for quite a while, even since the tournament days of the organization. So from your perspective, what's it like to see all the growth with the promotion?
To grow with the promotion, just, they're doing big things, man. I think Bellator's taking over, and just more educated people, so hopefully next time they won't put us on the undercard. But other than that, I think they're doing really good things, and, they sign a lot of UFC fighters. And I think the roster is growing, so, it's good to be part of Bellator.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw a prior interview of yours where you were talking about fighting in Japan as being one of the bigger moments in your career. And I also noticed that earlier in the year you'd called out Kawajiri for that April Ryzen card. So that didn't come to fruition, but is there still a desire to compete in Ryzen going ahead? Because there seems to be a bit of a business partnership with them and Bellator.
Yeah, I hit up Bellator. I said, because Kawajiri didn't have an opponent. And when I fought Takaya in Dream, I had a contract with Kawajiri, but they changed the point on me last 2 weeks, so they gave me Takaya. So when I recently saw that he didn't have an opponent, I called Bellator. I was like, hey, let me go represent Bellator, because in the past, Brandon Ward went there and represented Bellator, so I was like, I could do that. I fought there before, but that didn't happen. But like I said, I'm always up for whoever pays me the most. From I have one more fight left. After this fight, I'm not going to fuck around. It's going to be whoever pays me the most, and I have to make a big money because, what we getting paid it's pretty much bullshit.
Yeah, it's definitely not the kind of money that you see nowadays in boxing. I mean, you do have a 1-0 pro boxing record, but, some of the stuff you're seeing with, the Mayweather-McGregor fight there. What are your thoughts on that? I imagine you're not too keen on that necessarily.
Yeah, what is my what?
Your thoughts on the Mayweather-McGregor fight coming up there?
Well, I think it's good for the fight industry, but I feel bad for all those boxers out there that just, because boxing it's a very hard sport. I spar with a lot of good boxers. I spar with Gennady Golovkin, and it's a different sport, man. It's a different world than MMA, and for all the Conor McGregor dick suckers that are talking shit towards all the boxers, I think it's very disrespectful because, I heard a story about Paulie, what he did to Paulie, and
oh yeah, that's ridiculous.
How he treated him and put him in a very poor place, didn't take care of him, and it's fucked up, you know. I think I have a huge respect for boxers. I'm a big boxing fan, and all my money is on Floyd Mayweather. I think he's not going to be able to touch Floyd, and he's going to, you know, get desperate and get knocked the fuck out. And then
yeah, I thought you'd be a good guy to talk to. Yeah, I thought you'd be a good guy to talk to for that fight, being that you have the bit of pro boxing experience there and also the mixed martial arts experience, obviously. But yeah, the Triple G Canelo fight, I hope that doesn't really get affected so much in terms of like how many people are going to be checking it out. But in terms of how you affect your performance, working with perfecting athletes lately, you know, got the vegetarian diet going on. How long has that been going on, and how have you, like what has it done to your career to just optimize your performance, the vegetarian diet?
It helped me a lot, man. It just helped me tremendously with the recovery. It helped me a lot with just being in good shape all the time and just training, because with me is I never stop training. I always train year round, and you know, now that I partner up with perfecting athletes, they keep me my diet way cleaner, and they have a lot of good tricks, and I would highly recommend any fighter or athlete, any professional athlete that wants to take it to the next level to actually get to know perfecting athletes and, you know, try some of their meals, because I've been on that for about a month and a half, and man, I feel great, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, and in terms of just, you know, healing and just bettering your performance, you seem to be into certain things like CBD capsules and whatnot, and you also certain holistic properties of THC. I mean, I saw you were on Smokebox with Be Real there, and I thought all that was cool. So how long has that been, you know, in your life, and like, can you speak to the holistic benefits of cannabis overall?
Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of. I'm a big, you know, I love all the THC stuff, all the CBD, but CBD has been doing a lot of good things for me, especially, you know, coming off of a lot of surgeries. I had about 5 surgeries, and, you know, I'm 32, so I still train hard, but I train smart, but the CBD that I get from Flavor X has been helping me a lot, and of course, you know, when I'm not scheduled to fight, of course, you know, I'll smoke some weed. And,
oh yeah.
You know, that helps me a lot. I'm not a type of smoker where you smoke and can't function. I'm really, you know, I can function while I'm high, and I give a big props to, you know, Flavor X for taking good care of me and send me one of their best products, and you know, you guys should check them out.
Yeah, it was cool. It looks like you're doing a lot of stuff there. I noticed you visited High-Time headquarters and everything like that, so I thought, oh, that was pretty cool. But I also noticed you were at a Metallica concert recently, and you seem like a big music guy, kind of like pretty diverse music taste, like you're into, you know, 21 Savage, Travis Scott, and stuff like that. So how was that concert, and like what kind of music are you generally, you know, jamming for camp and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, first I went to the Deftones concert. I hang around with the Deftones.
Oh, nice.
Hang around with them, I smoked with them, we had a good conversation, and, you know, it was thanks to I'm partnered with this new management called Janus Sports, so that they knew I was a big fan of Deftones, and I kicked it with them, and recently I went to a Metallica concert, which was really cool. I just like to have a good time, man. Like, with me, it's like, if you hang around with me, you know, you're always going to have a good time, so that's what I like to do. I train so much that I have to balance out the good times and training and family time all together, so I'm always for a good time.
Yeah, man, and you seem to be doing a good job of it so far, but you've been really good with your time so far. Is there anything you wanted to add as we're wrapping up here?
No, man, I'm just really happy to be fighting. You know, just hopefully fight one more time this year and then see what are my options. But other than that, I'm just ready to go for August 25th.
And people got to check that out, August 25th. It's Bellator 182 going toe-to-toe with Daniel Pineda. Just had a great conversation with Georgi Karakhanyan, Bellator featherweight competitor. Really just thanks for your time, man, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, brother. You too, man.
All right, bye.